Hello! Tonight we will be having a look at M57, which is a planetary nebula in a Lyra constellation, and I will also show you the star tracking calibration process under MaximDL using the ASI 662 camera on my C14 EdgeHD telescope. At the moment, I'm only trying to center M57 in the center of the main picture frame, which comes from an ATIC 11000 one-shot color camera. You'll notice that in Maxim camera control window, I've actually selected subframe because it's a lot quicker to download subframes from the camera than it is to load a full frame. So it makes the process a bit quicker. You will also notice I've opened on the right hand side of my screen the ASCOM mount control window. So I'm using the 4 buttons to move about and center M57. On the subframe window, I know the lower right hand corner of the subframe is actually the center of the full frame window. On the ASCOM control, you will see you've got 3 speed options. You've got G for guidance, C for centering, and S for slowing. G is obviously a bit slow to move an object within the main picture window. So I'm using C which is for centering, which is just about right. Obviously S, which is the speed for slowing, will be way too quick, and I will move M57 out of the frame in no time. I'm taking 20-second exposures, which I think for M57 is a bit much, but at least we're bound to see it. Sometimes when you look at galaxies, you're struggling to see it on a screen. With M57 being so bright, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I'm using the buttons, as I said, to move about and try to locate the nebula within the right hand, lower hand corner of my subframe window. Here we are, downloading, see where we're at. That looks about right. So let's take a full frame window and see where the M57 sits. In the meantime, let's look at the guide camera window, which is on the upper left-hand corner. We've got 3 stars, which would be okay, I guess, to calibrate on and track on. Still downloading the main picture window. So you'll see what I mean when I say it's a lot slower than using subframe. Obviously now M57 sits in the middle, so it's not too bad. I think it's quite okay. Let's just move it a bit. And then we can proceed with star guiding calibration. So we move to guide window. And again, we're going to use the ASCOM control window buttons to try to center the star we want to calibrate on, which hopefully will be the same one as the one we want to use for guiding. Let's move it again. Obviously, Here it's quite easy because there are lots of stars to choose from. Sometimes, depending on which area of the sky you're pointing at, it can get quite tricky because either the stars are really faint or sometimes you just don't get any stars at all. Looks like we've got a nice bright one. Oops, moved a bit too much. Notice we're still using centering speed, but I think centering speed is a bit too quick to look at the guide window. So I've switched to guiding speed, which will make it easier. And I shouldn't be able to lose myself too quickly here. Okay, we've got a nice bright star in the center of the guiding window. Let's look at the histogram. Looks bright enough. Here we go. You can see it's a lot brighter than its neighbor. So that's the star we'll be using to calibrate on. So we switch to calibration mode on a guide camera and start the calibration process. Okay, you can see Maxim has found the star on the first frame. Let's see what happens next. And it is not recognizing the star. It's not working. This is the first time I tried to calibrate with the ASI 662 camera. Prior to that, I was using an ATIC 16 IC camera. And I must admit, the picture I get from the ASI camera is a lot cleaner than the ATIC one, but for some reason it's not calibrating. Let's see what we can do. Okay. It's detected the star on the first frame and looks like, no, it hasn't detected it on the second frame. So I'm going to try to stop the process. Nope. Let's look at the settings. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is increase the binding to 2 instead of 1. It's gonna make the picture a bit smaller, but it should make it also brighter and it should make it a bit more sensitive. Okay, here we go. That's my star. Let's try again and see what happens. Okay, it detected the star on the first frame. Ah, it doesn't look too bad. Here we go. The star is detected on the second frame. Now we're moving back to the initial position. Perfect. Good. The two axes are perpendicular to each other, which is what we want. One axis is right ascension, the other axis will be declination. I'm not sure which is which. And I was using a 4-second exposure time for calibration. Now we're going to see if we can guide on a 0.5 second exposure time. We can still see the star. It's not very bright, but it is there. So let's try tracking. And here we go. For reminders, we are tracking with a 3910 millimeter focal length, so it's no small feat. Here is a tracking graph. The seeing is not excellent tonight, so I think we're doing okay. And next, we'll try to take guided exposure of M57 with a main sensor and see what happens. Okay, we're exposing now. It's tracking okay. I don't understand why I couldn't calibrate using bin 1 with the guide camera, and I had to switch to bin 2. When I was using the ATIC 16 IC, where the image was a lot dirtier, I really had no problem calibrating whatsoever. And here, with a cleaner image, it seems to be more difficult. Very strange. Here's our picture. Looks good. Let's convert it to color to see what it looks like. And it's only a raw frame. Hey, looks pretty good. Another few of those, and we could stack them and make for a nice picture. Obviously, for the next exposures, I'll be increasing the exposure length. So there you go. That pretty much finishes it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to make more videos in the future. If you've got any questions, you'll find contact details in my on my website. So don't hesitate to write to me, and I'll reply to you. Okay, have a clear night and good skies. Goodbye.